Don't let a house of mirrors trick you into refusing your call. We've got the influencer here, and we are on the refusal of the call stage of our anti-heroes journey. So we're moving from the Aquarian archetype into Capricorn. So from Uranus to Saturn, those more practical, material concerns. So you kind of see this could be a place for self-sabotage, talking yourself out of something unknown, something you haven't done before. It could also be, I'm thinking somebody casting an illusion over your work or you somehow. Still following that theme of trying to interfere with your progress, because there's something about your healing that breaks down an illusion. And on the dice roll, I got Pisces, the moon, and the 12th house. So illusion, illusion, illusion. Maybe those are important areas of your birth chart. But this influencer here, it's a skeleton in a partially unzipped skin suit. And there's actually nothing on the laptop screen. So it's like nothing of substance is being said. So I wanted to get some charms out to see if we can glean something about what is this illusion that's going on. Because it could be any number of things. If it's an illusion over your work, it could be, I don't know, bad reviews, something to that nature. I just saw AA pop out. Oh, and then a third A, triple A. I think that came up in the last charms as well. Something about 3, something repeating thrice. AAEN also brings to mind like a 3-letter agency. And I went on a Wikipedia rabbit hole, OAW. It's making me think of AWOL. But a Wikipedia rabbit hole, you know, where you just like click within the articles and you kind of keep going on tangential things. I ended up on an article about, what is it, the Order of the Solar Temple. They're like an offshoot of the Knights Templar or something like that, but they had all these acronyms for their different branches, I guess. A, G, D, P, L. There's the L for AWOL. Another L. I, T. I don't think this is a word, but pillet? Sounds British. L, R. Isn't there a camera that has a acronym like that? DLR, PLR, X. The chaos one, the blank one. So chaos energy, creative energy, and V. TV, something on TV, influencer. It's making me think of how many people kind of turn to independent media these days. They're not tuning in to the major channels so much. And there's a lot of independent media out there on social media. Dog. IT. Oh, prescription. RX. What charms do we have? It's like a Swiss roll. Something about sweets. And the plaid pumpkin transformation. Kind of reminds me of the witch trial, right as the clock chimes there. But the witch trial commemorative tartan that just came out a few years back. It's like a red and black pattern. We've got red and green leaves, and this one's like opal, kind of shiny, the red one. So root and heart chakras. I don't think those two are typically associated, but maybe there's some sort of connection. Oh, and here's another red and green pair. So yeah, I guess. So something about foundations, emotions, maybe emotions around foundations, foundational things. Again, material, Saturnian concerns. You can also eat for your chakras. So red and green food. A couple of orange. And that's a color candle I got today. So pick those at random. Sacral, creative energy. Could be something to do with like your creativity, trying to take that from you, trying to keep that suppressed in some way. Acorn. It's almost like trying to keep you forgotten, because I see a couple elephants in here. It's like no matter what, no matter what's going on, it'll still be remembered by some. Because acorns, squirrels, like they gather them up and they bury them and they don't remember where all of them are. And so that's, you get more trees that way, just like inadvertently. And one of these charms, it's like the mama and the baby. It's like a little family of elephants, something to do with family. And I see the four-leaf clover. So for me, that'd be ancestry. Double emphasis on that for me too, Irish and Scottish. So something, maybe that's a place where your creativity comes from your ancestry, your heritage, exploring those parts of self. Got a butterfly and a dragonfly. Kind of feel like a pair. Different but similar. Gonna coexist. And there's another butterfly. It's like little families. What's this one? An owl? Is that a squirrel? I think that's a fancy cat, actually. Cat and owl. Nature, emphasis on that. A green gourd. Just giving me like abundance. Osiris just came to mind. Originally the god of agriculture, and then other stuff happened. Got, it looks like Yggdrasil. Tree of Life. Could be another reference to ancestry. And a ship wheel. It's making me think of, I just watched The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It was good. It's a fairly new movie, so I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a lot to do with illusions in there, in that theme. And a turkey. I mean, that's giving me like colonizer. It's like a Thanksgiving turkey. So something, it's like marketing. Changing the appearance of something to soften the blow. And then a lightning bolt. a bolt of lightning. That's like the catalyst for the tower coming down. Maybe the illusion. So it seems like ancestry, some emphasis on roots. And it can be fun to eat for your chakras. Coming up with different recipes and getting creative. It's nice to mix up the colors of whatever vegetables you're eating, so you're getting all the different types of nutrients and antioxidants and all those. So maybe it's family too, with all that emphasis on roots and ancestry and such. Family trying to get you to refuse your call. You know, coming forward with Saturnian concerns, like what are you going to do about health insurance? What are you going to do about the unstable paycheck? Which are valid concerns. It's not completely out of place to be worried about that. And it's your life. If you've put a lot of effort into figuring out what you want to do, how you move forward, most importantly, what you're trying to move away from, because you might not know what's in front of you, but you surely do know what's behind you and why you're trying to get away from it. So there's that aspect as well. So what about this influencer? And that like Saturnian style kind of communication, because Saturn is in Aries right now, retrograde. Could be harsh, could be inflammatory, and it's not your responsibility to tiptoe around other people's emotions. If they're bringing conflict to you, it's okay to confront them back. Healthy conflict, like it's an art that people have lost. The Eternal Serpent. It's a cool card. It came out reversed. But it actually looks like a dragon. And 14 combines down to a 5, like trying to stop change. Because it's making me think of like an Ouroboros. The red sun. It's always very, it's like an omen, you know, movies and stuff. It's like the red sun, the red comet. So the Eternal Serpent, and it's sitting above the waterfall. It's like trying to block your flow forward. Trying to get you to refuse that call. Why so insistent on trying to get you to refuse your call? Because it's just like if it was somebody from my past, it was like they don't like me doing tarot. Stop watching me. You don't have to watch me. Nobody's making you do that. That's a choice that you're making that you don't have to make, actually. You're just making yourself mad. If you don't like what I'm doing, change the channel. It's okay. It's a big internet out there. Oop. Well, that just flicked out of my hand and would have been in the other position. So we've got the 3 of Wands and Judgment. So that would have been upright, and now it's reversed. This is like judgment on trying to stop your forward movement. And you can interpret that a few ways. It can be judgment on if somebody is trying to interfere with your path forward. Like if they're just trying to be passive aggressive, they say they're supportive, but it's virtue signaling, performative support, things like that. when the rubber hits the road, where's the actual support? This could be representative of their judgment of your path, which the audacity. It's like, who do you think you are? Because I intend on this being a reading for adults, like somebody who might be thinking about a second career or something like that. Of course, it could be happening at a different life stage, but it's the vibe is we've reached a point where it's actually inappropriate to be stepping in like that, to be offering unsolicited advice on what you're doing with your life. And I just noticed they're actually looking into a mirror, and that theme keeps coming up, mirror. Like somebody trying to mirror you. It's like somebody dogging on what you're doing and then turning around and stealing your creativity, like stealing your ideas. Something to interfere with your path forward. Like, I don't know. Is the narrative that you're stealing from them? Like they're taking your work, but they're trying to make this narrative stick that actually you are the one taking from them. That's going to fall apart eventually. Like, AI is making it easier to steal, yes, but you can't mimic authenticity. So what about judgment in reverse? Like, it's very much giving stay in your lane. And I think that's very quintessential, maybe, of an anti-hero's journey, is that kind of rejection from the group, unfortunately, can be a big part of it. And the world in reverse, trying to keep a cycle open. And I like that there's a dandelion on this world card, and it's in the wish stage when they've gone from yellow to white. And that's interesting. It's like moving from the yellowing to the whitening, like alchemical stages. But then there's also death on here. So in reverse, trying to prevent a change. Really trying to prevent your path forward. And maybe you are calling judgment on this, because why wouldn't you? It's like full-grown adults not minding their business, not keeping their eyes on their own paper. And it's like glass houses. Why are we throwing stones at somebody else? Why are we, actually? Why are we throwing stones at somebody else? Because then this all creates problems. Because the expectation might be that you'll just back down. Which, no. I mean, it's your life. But that might be the arrogance, entitlement that somebody's walking into this situation with. Like, oh, I can get them to bend to my will. Again, like, who do you think you are? And why would you want to stop somebody from pursuing something that makes them happy? There's a lot that can be done under the guise of concern. Even using valid points in a manipulative way. Going with that one. Perseverance in reverse. It's very Southwest. Her cheeks are out. It's making me think of like full moon to new moon, trying to keep something, someone hidden There's that sun there at the top. Don't want exposure. Maybe don't want your channel, your whatever's, Etsy store, Patreon, whatever you're doing, to get popular. Because will it expose that they're actually stealing from you? You don't want... They're throwing stones because you're persevering. That's a weird thing to throw stones about. That's very much like you're telling on yourself at this point. What about perseverance? Okay. With the quickness. Root of creation and in reverse. It's a gnarly image. Kind of looks like the Borg. The way it's taken over their head. But trying to uproot your creations? Don't want them to take root, to blossom, to flower? I wonder if the dandelion reference, going from yellow to white, it's actually going backwards, going down a stage. And I mean, you move through those alchemical stages, as you do. And it kind of looks like they've been crying. But it almost looks like a skin texture, too. So it's, again, just more of this bullying to try and keep somebody in place. And it could be like a smear campaign or something, like trashing your work. It could just be trying to get somebody to do something they don't want to do. Like, give up on their path. What is the deal? Because it seems like it's on a loop. Why so insistent on your work not blossoming? Ten of Swords in reverse. Interesting. What the metaphor that the image is creating, because she's falling down to the Ten of Swords, but in reverse, it's the other way. It's like the swords are chasing her. She's trying to get away. But she's suspended. Like stuck in place. And that's where they want you to remain? They just want to keep chasing you with the proverbial swords? It's giving like the end of Beauty and the Beast, when they get everybody all riled up. So what about this Ten of Swords? It's like wanting you to stay in the Ten of Swords. Because normally, the way I would interpret that is like the reverse is being skewered. It's a pretty difficult position to get out of, but just in the imagery in that card, it's like narrowly evading it. So what about this Ten of Swords? And this is the Agatha All Along deck. Fitting for anti-hero, I think. So Ten of Swords. What about the Ten of Swords? Very much not wanting people to see that you or whomever this resonates with are like chasing them down. It's like, leave this person alone. Because how long has this theme been coming up? But bullying, that can go on for years. Years and years and years. And it's like, do you not have anything else to do? You don't have a life or something to tend to that might be, I don't know, a dumpster fire in the background because it's not being tended to? The Nine of Wands in reverse. And then the Knight of Cups. So wanting boundaries to come down. And I mean, the fire is all in the background. And they're performing. But maybe this is the illusion. That's what that represents, is everything's supposed to look cool, flames for the performance and everything, but something's getting out of hand because they can't capture you with these swords. Maybe. Oh, and it looks like a tunnel here. So there's 5, or no, there's actually 9. But there's 5 on the bottom part, and then there's 4 on the top. Empty glasses of wine. It's like escaping vices, escaping. It's almost giving me like an Irish goodbye. Just, boop, I'm out. Through the tunnel. This little escape hatch. And maybe you're in a situation where you have to get away from these people so that you can answer your call. Maybe that's what the issue is with the refusal of the call, is that it's like a temporary refusal because you're in a situation, a very oppressive situation that you're trying to get away from. Like, how are you supposed to live your life, pursue happiness, whatever it says, what is that, in the First Amendment? If the people in your life are interfering in some way, just not being supportive, could be very taxing if there's constant conversations about how you're living your life. It's just a drain on your energy. And at some point, there's got to be some boundaries of, you know, treat me with respect or we might have to part ways. Like, it's not tenable to just stay in that cycle. And I think there's a lot of resistance to that because there's that innate need to be part of a group, and the way, you know, the family bonds, trauma bonds even, are so incredibly strong. It can feel like you're dying when you go your own way. The metaphor that I've used for estranging myself is like I had to cut off my own limb to survive. And it was a very difficult decision. And I had to really accept that I would be the bad guy, no matter what. Even though I'm just trying to live my life. So, what's the narrative maybe around you being the bad guy? Because that'll come up in this type of situation. Maybe perseverance is being cast in a stubborn light. Root of creation. maybe trying to lean into negative stereotypes about Pisces, like flighty, non-committal, while failing to recognize that you're trying to create change, which means you'll be doing things that are different than what you did before. So what is this narrative? That could be the Ten of Swords, like chasing her. How are you being cast a villain? The Moon? Her cheeks are out too. It's kind of giving me like raging feminist, burn your bras, all that. Medieval torture devices. But the Moon in reverse. Secrets revealed. Are they taking things that you trusted them with and using them to like put you on blast or something? That's disgusting behavior and really difficult parts of trauma work, at least in my experience, those betrayal wounds of you trusted somebody and then they turned around and used something painful against you. It's like, how low can you go? There's really no limit. So something maybe that you wanted to keep private, that it's weird how people take issue with privacy. I've had that issue my whole life. It's like a not understanding that people are entitled to their privacy and they don't have to like it. And it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. I see this argument popping up a lot right now with the flock cameras, where it's like, well, if you aren't doing anything wrong, why do you care about surveillance? Because it's surveillance. Expecting people who didn't do anything wrong to give up their rights on principle, that's fascism. And I'm seeing all the sudden removal of those cameras, and an interesting protester in Florida where he's sitting on the sidewalk with a sign in front of the lens, like a protest sign, and he's on public property and not damaging the camera and exercising his First Amendment rights. It's a really interesting little loophole. So maybe there's something about that, casting a narrative around, maybe you found something out, you figured something out, like a loophole like that. What about this Moon? I'm noticing that the woman in both these cards, she's got blue hair. That can be like a cheap shot, you know, something you did with your appearance to express yourself, which it's like, again, eyes on your own paper. Like, why are you so pressed about what somebody else is doing with their hair? So what about this Moon? And I'm seeing, now that people are getting angry about Flock, Nothing Burger, I think is what it's called, is that they're switching to other companies. They're doing the exact same thing. They're just under a different name, under a different brand. It's nothing fundamentally different. And maybe that's something that you're pointing out in this situation, that you're being offered non-solutions, that maybe people are griping on you about something that you're doing, but what do they want you to actually do differently? Because you might be trying to go your own way because something's making you miserable, like a 9 to 5 or something like that. Trying to do your own thing. And then, okay, if they don't want you to be an influencer, are you asking me to stay miserable? Like, what practical solution are you actually bringing to the table? It sounds like they're just complaining. We've got the Abyssal Beast in reverse. Maybe they're trying to cast you in some light like you're a monster. For what? Trying to live your life? That doesn't make sense. Or this could be like satanic panic. Leaning into stereotypes. Because I think there's a lot of more breathing room for stuff like that now with the current administration, like satanic panic, discrimination, and right as that clock chimes. It's like they're holding the door open for it. That's fascism for you. So what about this Abyssal Beast? It's just reminding me, brought up a memory. Women who run with the wolves. Dr. Estes. That's right. I was talking to a family member about that. And they had mentioned, like a college roommate or something, read that book. And they said they went crazy, quote unquote. And I really like that book. It was a very judgy, like when you break away from the mold, when you break away from the mainstream, it's because you're crazy. To me, obedience to that degree is crazy. Why would I comply with a system that only offers me exploitation? It's not offering me any other solutions other than we're going to exploit you in X, Y, or Z way. If you don't like X, we'll do it Y way. If you don't like Y, we'll do it Z way. And it's so difficult to go your own way with things like health insurance and all those structures that are built in to the main like 9 to 5 pipeline. It's like a deterrent to entrepreneurship, to independent thought. And that it seems like that might be the fear here. It's crabs in a bucket. Can't have somebody be different. Because, what is it, familiar devils? Would rather stay with that. Like, miss me with that, for sure. Go out into the wilderness. Pull a Lilith. Speak God's true name, and I'm out of here. Name the problem. And then GTFO. So what about this Abyssal Beast? It's a newer deck. It's still a little sticky. There we go. I'll take that. Is it 2? I've got the 7 of Swords and then the 8 of Swords stuck together. So a progression, 7 to 8. Well, it's like a strategy to imprison you, to keep you in place. And this kind of looks like a tower to me. It's like a princess in a tower. And that bowl, it's giving me water scrying. And she's got like her familiars here: wolf, a fox, rat, crows, snake. The gang's all here. But the audacity, again, to try and imprison someone, contain their free will, And that's done a lot through abuse. Actually, I tried to record this yesterday, but right before I did that, I got triggered by something on Threads. A video that it was like a father tackling his daughter because she wouldn't fork over her phone password so he could go through it. And like somebody is just standing there filming it, like not stepping in. Yeah, I was very scattered, disjointed, and it's strange, like trying to function when you're triggered. The best way I think I can describe it, it's like if I had horse blinders on, like I can see forward, I can go straight forward, and that's about it. And I've got somebody throwing things at me and saying, is that an apple or a tennis ball? You have to guess which one is right. I never signed up for this game, and I am telling them to stop, but they don't. And if I just try and ignore them and not play this game that I never signed up for, they throw things harder. So it's very taxing on trying to function because you have all that going on in the ambience of your mind, and then you just have to do regular stuff while people are throwing proverbial, is it an apple or a tennis ball? And there's also the mental game of, somebody who would throw things at you at all is not trustworthy, so even if you get it right, they're just going to keep throwing things at you. And it's just this constant drain on your energy. And situations like this can have that effect, like keeping you triggered, keeping you activated, so that you end up in a mental prison that doesn't allow you to create, to progress. It's really, really abusive. And I did not see any accessibility features, like where they have the disability settings and stuff, to where I could blur videos, like just by default, or stop autoplay, like what I do on Reddit, because images and videos can like burn into my mind, with the PTSDs. Be really helpful if that was considered too. So what about this mental prison, this Eight of Swords? I do like that she's not blindfolded in this one, though, because she can see what's happening. It's Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Trying to stop your progress. It's on a gosh darn loop. How many things have they tried to stop your progress? And it takes so many forms. The financial abuse, and it's not... Financial abuse isn't just about keeping money out of your hands. It's also keeping opportunity out of your hands, so that you could move forward and get away from these people. Again, I bring it up a lot. UBI is domestic violence prevention, because then there'd at least be that net, that safety net to work with. And I don't know, I guess I have kind of a broad definition of domestic violence, because I put workplace violence as domestic violence too. Like there's definitely a Venn diagram there. Because if work, your source of income, your source of resources, of money, is doing something to interfere with that, they're holding you hostage. It's moving from exploitation to a hostage situation. Because you need resources to get away from them too. And everything that happens at work, the way that you're impacted at work, impacts your home life. All that stress, the energy, everything that they take from you, it impacts your ability to create a path out for you. It impacts your self-care, because at the end of the day, you might already have like groceries in the fridge ready to make a meal or something, but you're so exhausted you just order food. And no shame, I use delivery all the time. Love me some sushi, right? And I got some very indulgent pasta last night. It was like steak and shrimp and Alfredo. It was delicious. It's not my regular. And when you're having a day and you just can't, it's fine. It's fine to just, bleh. What happens over time is situations like this will create a lot of those days for you, and then it's harder to make the choices that you want to make for your life. And you don't get compensated for the way that they're taking from you, the way that they're taking from your life, because that Ace of Pentacles, that could be this group, whatever it is, family or work, what have you, draining your energy to the point where maybe you are not going out as much. You're not socializing as much. You're not creating that social web, social connections, pursuing your hobbies, maybe pursuing your fitness, whatever it is, are getting in the way. It's so much that is intangible, quote unquote. Like on a Excel spreadsheet, yeah, intangible in that manner, but it had real tangible impacts on your life, and then they'll turn around and point the finger at you. Like, we'll see, it's taking them so long to do this creative thing, to try and go their own way. It must not be meant to be because it's taking a while. Meanwhile, they're tormenting you in the interim. So what about this Ace of Pentacles? Because that's really, I think, the refusal of the call. Trying to get you to refuse the call. Trying to get you to not be yourself. It's that judgy. You don't like the way that you're living. I'm taking the one rather than the pile. But they don't like the way that you're living, so you have to change rather than them just keeping eyes on their own paper. The Mother in reverse. Are they judging you because you don't want kids? My goodness. Look at that pile of clothes down there. Looks like a very moth-like silhouette. And people can be very, very judgy about that. I've had a lot of discussions that, I mean, really, it comes down to, I don't want kids. I got my tubes removed because I don't want kids, and nothing else beyond that matters. But there were a lot of thought that went into that of, once you have a kid with someone, you are tied to that person forever. There is a woeful disservice to women on being accurate and representing the truth of abuse in this world, of what we're subjected to. How can I not only potentially put myself through that, but a kid, and I don't know, there's not sufficient resources to escape abuse. It's like once you're in it, you're in it. And it's expensive, it's taxing. I don't want to take on the responsibility of being the developer of somebody else's psyche. And people will still, like, have kids. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. Like, you're really leaving a lot out about how difficult and challenging parenthood can be. So what about the mother? And this could also be representative of something you're trying to do, something you're trying to create that hasn't yet come to fruition. The fractured veil. Seeing through the illusion. Maybe this is... So I'm noticing the crows also in this card as compared to the Eight of Swords. Like somebody's taking cheap shots at you, and somebody's starting to see it. That maybe that's what's interfering with your progress forward. It's like somebody's finally talked enough smack that, like, oh, I see what's going on here. You're bullying this person. And I don't expect that there's a lot of long-term thinking when it comes to this sort of personality. The bully. But even if they accomplish their goal and get somebody to not go after their Ace of Pentacles, what they want in this life, what's on the other side of that? Misery? Fighting all the time? And that can be supply for them. And then it can turn into really ugly stuff, because then you are a prisoner. And it'll convince you that, like, gaslight you, that it was your choice. You are the one that decided, you know, I actually don't want to go down this path. Meanwhile, they had been influencing you towards that. So what about this fractured veil? Five of Wands, Six of Cups, and Queen of Wands. So conflict. Seeing the conflict. She's covering her... A couple of them are covering their ears. Maybe people are sick of it. Sick of hearing this person go on about you. And Six of Cups. It's like the soulmate nostalgia card, but this is kind of giving me a vision and a dream. It looks like she's holding a lighter. It's like pleading for mercy. Maybe this is the, what is it, IDGAF anymore? That, like, we are done. You might be the Queen of Wands here. Like, you are proverbially, metaphorically, burning everything down. If they won't let you prosper, it's like shifting back even further in alchemical stages. You know, we were talking about going from the whitening to the yellowing, or the yellowing to the whitening, then going down one more to the blackening. That's the destruction. Because what are you supposed to do if you're just trying to live your life and people aren't letting you? And she's got a microphone here, so maybe you are singing it from the rooftops, what you've been put through. And that might be why somebody's trying to get you to refuse your call, because they don't want to be held accountable, maybe for their actions, for what they've done. Make different choices then. That's their problem. That's not your problem. And that could be a change as part of this process. Because you could be, I don't know, like a recovering people pleaser. I've struggled with that myself in the past. That's that fawn response. And maybe you've worked through that. Back to referencing women who run with the wolves. It's like finding your independence, finding your voice. And then people who were accustomed to the old you, the more meek nature, are getting all up in arms, all huffy about, oh no, now somebody is actually holding me accountable to my actions. So I think on both sides of this refusal of the call, it's very Saturnian, because they might be bringing in the kind of classic concerns, you know, the unstable income, health insurance, yada yada. And then you are bringing in very valid concerns as well, that, okay, the alternative is that you're asking me to stay in a situation that makes me very unhappy. And stress-related illnesses are very, very real. Why would you want to subject me to that? And also, no, that's not going to happen, and they're just going to have to deal with it if they don't like the way that you're living your life. So some of that Aries intensity, that fire, so I think it's just sticking with it at this stage. Maybe somebody is throwing proverbial apples and tennis balls at you, trying to distract you, trying to make your life difficult. Maybe you have a chronic illness that's doing that as well. And it's important to just keep progressing up to the next stage, which is the mentor. And we've got Frostpunk. I got super into this game at the beginning of the pandemic, and this actually came up in the comment section in the last reading. It's a good game. It's very intense. A lot of things going on at one time, and my mind moves really fast when I'm anxious. And of course, you know, global pandemic, never been through one of those things before. I had big reactions to that, big stress reactions. And this was busy enough to grab my attention, to give me a little bit of an escape from a very difficult situation. So maybe you need something engaging like that to maybe even keep those blinders on. Maybe those blinders were a metaphor for just what you need to withstand the barrage of things that are coming at you unnecessarily, unfairly, while you're just trying to live your life, so that you can keep moving forward to the next stage. Because it seems like this group is not giving you a choice, that they're just dogpiling. It's not fair. I am bothered to no end when people don't stay in their lane in a negative way. It's not like they're going out of their way to be earnestly supportive. It's to make your life more difficult, which, get a hobby, play games, do something different. We have better choices to make. So give yourself a break if you're able to. I think if you're not able to, that's a good indicator that it's time to schedule one. At least get something on the calendar in your day planner to look forward to, even if it's ordering takeout and watching a movie at the end of the week. So keep with it. And then the next stage we'll be looking forward to is the mentor. So overall, I hope this helps. I hope this resonates. And if it doesn't, I hope the next one does. Thank you so much.